There's no shortage of, to this point, what has been yo-yo diets and digital health apps and coaching and, even things you think about like Weight Watchers in this point system. Nobody has quite cracked the code to solving obesity, weight loss. And as you put it, the kind of stigma that then comes along with that as well. How do you even begin chipping away at a problem like that, where there's just so many different approaches and different paths that people even encounter the problem?
It's a great question. And I'm going to push back a little bit on the no one has solved it, because there are folks that have. For example, 50% of the US tries to diet every year and only 5% lose weight. So we studied those 5%. And they're going to places like the academic weight management centers, like Columbia University has a weight management center. And what's brilliant about that model is it does bring together the best of evidence-based care, the science, the medication. There are 5 FDA-approved medications for long-term chronic weight management. It brings that together with one-to-one coaching. It does pull the pieces together. So we actually do know what works, but it can't scale. Fundamentally can't. They can see a couple hundred to a couple thousand patients for the cost of what we now charge for 1 month of Found, which is on average $99. That's how much you pay to park on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, right? So it's completely inaccessible, but we do know what works. The science and evidence base is there. And so I think what we're trying to do is take the best of technology and the things that tech creates for us. It creates scalability. It creates access. We can now ride these amazing tailwinds. Obviously, the pandemic has wrought so much destruction, but one of the pieces that I think is such a silver lining as it relates to health is the advent of telehealth and how much more accessibility has now been created because regulatory policy has shifted. It's opened up avenues for people to get care much more conveniently, much more easily. And I think what you see is that that's affecting the parts of the health ecosystem where a lot of stigma existed before, and the stigma created friction to getting access. Look at mental health.